Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. You know what to do. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin trading at 41,510, up 6.61%. Ethereum 2456, up 4.83%. Let's have a look at the Ethereum tokens. Just to let you know, I've hidden a lot of knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. Let's have a look. THETA doing well. Leo, Uni. Pretty nice to see green in the market. If you're new to the channel, everything I do for you is free. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time technical trader with over 20 years of experience to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Rule 710, I am worthy. You say, Ken, I am worthy. How does this relate to trading and investing? Let's check it out. It's hard for many people to understand that when you start investing and trading in something like crypto, and indeed in the stock market or anywhere else, losses are a natural thing. You could say imperfections and inadequacies that you experience could impact your self-worth. It is very fair that that would happen. When you make a loss, and it's not if, it's when you make a loss, you could view that as not being together, being bad at what you're doing. It's not true. It is really all part of the market's way of getting you to pay tuition and getting you to commit to the market. When you know that losses are not personal, they're just baked into the market. This quote is really beautiful quote. Reassure yourself that your journey to self-worth will be the most rewarding experience of your life. It really will. The market has amazing transformative effect if you'll let it. So let's go hardcore. I am worthy. What does it really mean? You make actions, they create results. The results give you confidence or take away from your confidence. For example, your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings will drive your actions from a subconscious level. Those actions will create either profit or loss. The profit can increase your confidence. The loss can decrease your confidence. Then you can get in this kind of loop where you can either be increasing or decreasing your confidence. The truth is, you already know losses are the cost of market's tuition across every market. Crypto is no exception. The problem is that when people get into crypto, they instantly think that they're going to become rich. That is not the way to think. That's the way to lose whatever you have. What you really want to do is you don't want to let excitement or fear or terror drive your actions. Excitement, fear, and terror, they're the worst things that could possibly guide any action. Maybe let's make it real. Are you excited about this? Look at all that green there. Don't you want to just buy? Wow. And you listen to the YouTubers, it's never going down. You have to get in. The lowest price it will ever be. Wrong. It's not like that. We know price moves in waves. When fear of missing out or fear, uncertainty, and doubt is driving your actions, you will have fearful results to the point that you may not even be able to sleep at night. That's horrible. I don't want that for you. I want you to sleep soundly. If you have fearful results, all your confidence can be fleeting. I don't want that for you either. I want you to have solid confidence. So how do we move into being able to sleep well at night and not having confidence that can disappear in the blink of an eye? There's a way. The first key is to really understand that in the market you must learn all the time. Analyze your results, know what's happening, then move from an excitement phase to a probability and patience phase. And that requires systems. to be in place. If you do this, learning, probability, patience, and systems, the results you get will be far better than if you're being driven by actions that are based in excitement and terror. You know that. That's very fair. Your confidence will increase because you've got a system in place. You're always learning. You're looking at probabilities. And the most important thing, as you have a system in place, you don't really care. You can chill. You can rest at night. It's a beautiful place to be. I'd love to do a call out to Nem, the biggest memer. Good on you, Nem. I love this thing. I love all memes there. They're just so fun. 2 seconds after buying crypto, he says, "We're Lambo." And these guys are looking at him saying, "What are you talking about?" This is true. When people enter crypto, they think that they're going to get a Lamborghini and a private jet, and you know, a lot of influencers push that, but it's just rubbish. So many people, when they get into the market, fear, excitement, and terror just creates cracks all over their psyche. It's really bad. You don't want this kind of thing. You need to look at yourself as being very firm, unshakable, untouchable. There is a way to do that. Inside our community, we think like an institution of one. People will see your success over time, and they won't understand how much disappointment, persistence, hard work, risks, late nights, struggles, discipline, courage, doubts, criticism, failure, adversity, rejections, and sacrifices you put in to show this success at the top. This is what our community is all about. We're about doing the work and getting the results over the long term. We don't care about bull runs, bear markets, consolidations. We can trade through all of them. We don't care what the particular cycle is. You'll see many influencers only come online when things are green. That's a really bad channel to follow. Okay, let's get into it. Rule 174, the T-cube method. Trend, which is the last video I just popped out. Timing and trigger. We're going to look at the timing in this one. We're using the KS method. The first thing we do is look at the news headlines from the perspective of a new investor to crypto. Maybe that new investor doesn't know much or anything about crypto, what it means, what it works, how it works, whatever it is. So let's read the headlines. After rejecting Bitcoin ETF, we're kind of looking for positives and negatives. Former SEC Chair Clayton joins. After rejecting, he joins. Wow, that must be positive. Okay. Bitcoin price regains strength. Wow, that's very good. MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor bullish on Bitcoin. Oh, that's very positive. Good to be bullish, I think. I think I know what bullish is. Ethereum flippening Bitcoin. Ooh, assessing if it's any closer. I don't know what that means. Peter Schiff calls MicroStrategy Saylors mad for trying. We do know this much about Peter. Poor Peter. He's a gold advocate, you could say. Peter is unfortunately experiencing a bit of a rough time with gold at the moment. Unclaimed Bitcoin. Bitcoin's Robin Hood's triumph. Oh, triumph. It must be positive. Oh, look at this language. I don't even know what that means. Somebody might be able to tell me. But it would be Bitcoin retains $41,000 and is going up. Very positive. Asset management firm GoldenTree is buying Bitcoin asset management. Wow, that's so good. And they've got a golden tree, not just any tree. Bitcoin for cash. Yes, that's positive. Bitcoin price analysis. Bitcoin needs to close weekly. That sounds a bit bad. Okay. We've just looked through. Now, what are we going to dig into? We can see there's about 7 positive stories here. Let's have a look at Peter. Peter loves gold. So let's check out how gold is going. This is real time. 1 year return for gold, negative 8%. Okay. S&P plus 34%, Bitcoin plus 270%. Okay. Poor Peter. He needs a crisis. Gold really goes well in a crisis. I know all about gold. I was a former gold trader. I love gold. I really feel for Peter. Poor Peter. Maybe I give him a call and tell him it's going to be okay. Okay, let's get into the fun. Bitcoin's technical analysis. Look at Bitcoin. It's just an animal. It's romping towards this structural resistance line. Structural resistance, you say, Ken? Here's a gem for you. Episode 93, Drawing Structural Support and Resistance Lines. It takes it all from scratch. It's a really nice video to help you build your skills. You don't have to buy indicators, anything expensive. Go cheap. Just have a look through that. It will answer so many questions for you. Returning to Bitcoin, we can see this particular structural line here is in play in terms of Bitcoin. If it was to retrace, that's a very strong level of support. This other structural line too can be very strong. Now, why am I talking about those lines down there? Shouldn't I be talking about Bitcoin going to the moon? No, not really. Price is always moving in a wave. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see price is always going up and down, up and then down, up and down. When we get a really strong wave like this, we have to look at a lot of things to see if it's got real power in it, especially liquidations. That tends to be a very, very good measure. I would suggest that over the 20 years that I've been, well, more than 20 years that I've been trading, something like this, it doesn't really, probabilistically, it has a very high probability of retracing. The other thing to remember, it's the weekend. What happens on the weekend? We get light volume. That light volume can push price around quite a bit. And the important thing is what happens when the real market's open on Monday or Tuesday, depending if you have a long weekend or not. Just some negative news. Binance stopped derivatives business in Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. Some positive news. Germany allowed institutions to hold 20% of their funds in crypto. That's pretty cool. And PayPal is doing digital wallets to facilitate stimulus. Wow, that's good. Digital wallets are good. To facilitate stimulus, I don't know, that's so good. For example, if we look back to when all the stimulus was coming into the market, what happened? So many people were pushed into the market. All the prices were going up, up, up. The greed became extreme. What happened? We had a massive liquidation at this point, which started to hammer in a problem. Another massive liquidation here. Up here, we had another massive liquidation. These liquidations tend to hammer in changes in direction. That's what we're looking for here. Right at the moment, we're not seeing massive liquidations. We want something in there to show us that this current price action has legs, real probabilities. While we're here, the Fear and Greed Index has just turned to 60. That signifies greed for the first time in a really, really long time. That's good, but you know what happens when the greed goes up. People FOMO in. We don't want to do anything from fear. We want to do it systematically. When fear piles in, of course the price can go up, but the real thing is it does come down too. It's really important to be aware. I'll tell you more about the systems I use as we progress through this. A lot of people have asked. I don't mind sharing. Returning to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is currently trading at 41,315. It's just literally at support now. It has structural support at 4741, and under that there's support at 4142. The key thing here to look at is this structural resistance. It's very strong. It's playing in at 41,894 currently. Resistance above is 42,380 and 43,069. I'll give you a little gem here. You see this current price action? Let's look back towards where it happened last, around here. Remember, there was a big rumor about Amazon accepting Bitcoin. Now we've got this Germany allowing institutions to hold. That's really good piece of news by all means. Now what happened here? Price rallied up. Now what did it do? This was a sharp spike, It came down. These sharp spikes are fantastic. What you can do, and really it depends on if you're trading or you're just hodling or a lot of things. There are a lot of dynamics at play. But I always suggest when you see a sharp spike, you can take profit and then you can buy down at levels of support. It's really fantastic. You can go down as low as you can go. There's a lot of things to bear in mind. For example, the commissions on your trades. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind, tax implications, what have you. But the idea, you don't buy sharp spikes, you sell them. With the sharp spikes down, you buy them. It's always this way. We don't want to ever FOMO. FOMO indefinitely to a sharp spike down, but a sharp spike up. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. Let's have a look at crypto total market cap. A bit of a gem for you. Just assess this price action as though it's just one coin. Now you notice I've changed to the 8-hour. Why did I do that? Here's another gem for you. When the market starts to repair itself, you can zoom out. When the market's trying to figure out if it wants to break out from a downtrend, you zoom in. The 8-hour is a repair view. This is a repair. Okay, let's have a look at it. Remember when price came down so much, all the way down, dropped like a brick. Sharp spike here. Those sharp spikes, those capitulations are what we are always looking for. They're a dream. We buy those because they're unsustainable price movements. It has to come back up. You'll find it also with sharp spikes up. It's just the inverse of that. We know price is always moving in a wave. It's really important to understand price movements. Now we see a wave down, we see a wave up. What is fair? What is probabilistic? Not emotional, not fear-based, but we would just expect there will be a retracement to some level. Here, in between, or it could even go down to here. There's a lot of things, or it may keep on going, but we're always buying at support, at support, at support, at support. That is the way to go. That's how I do it. I sleep very, very well at night. I'm not stressed about any position because I know the strategy, the system, always buying at support, especially looking for these sharp spikes down. Crypto total market cap is currently $1.588 trillion. We used to look at token terminal for revenue data. I saw some inadequacies in their revenue calculations, so I did some investigation. BitInfo charts was really good at pointing out the revenue. I've just highlighted it here for you. Over the past 24 hours, Bitcoin brought in $42 million in revenue. If we look up a bit further, Bitcoin sent average per hour over the last 24 hours, 20,165 Bitcoin at around $838 million. Wow, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Average transaction value, $83,000. Median transaction value, around $700. Oh, it's almost time to pull out a stats lecture on central tendency and stuff like that to help you understand median and averages. And yeah, I'll do that for you. I think that could be really cool. Okay, here we go. This is from bitinfocharts.com/Bitcoin. We're really interested in seeing the amount of leverage inside the system. If we look at Bitcoin, all exchanges' estimated leverage ratio, we can see that there's been a reduction in the amount of leverage in the system. It increased a little, and now has decreased. Let's check out what the futures market is telling us. Perpetual futures, these just run. Now, what happens? What are we looking at? The majority, pretty much, is long. Now, let's have a look at the futures. Now, these expire at certain dates. That's what these numbers on the end mean. You can see expiring September, December, and sometimes they just put numbers in instead. We can see longs and shorts. Futures are really the casino of any market. People really need to know what they're doing, and really a lot of futures traders do. But if you're getting into futures, you really must know what you're doing. You can lose everything plus interest. Let's have a look at options. We had the expiration at the end of the month. I'll put that in and show you what happened there. Now for the end of next month, or the end of this month, the max pain price where most options expire worthless is $36,000. I'll just show you what happened to the max pain price here. Okay, look at this. This is fun. We were originally at 36,000. Then it came down to 35,000. Hit 34,000, came back up to 35,000, and then went to 40,000, and then dropped like a brick to 36,000 again. Very interesting, isn't it? Look at that price differential. Wow. Let's check out Ethereum's technical action. Ethereum is currently trading at 24.48, pretty much right at support. It's coming up to a psychological level of 2,500. These psychological levels tend to be heavily defended. People say, for example, that they may have had a position down here in, say, 1,800. They'll say, I'll pick a nice round number like 2,500 and sell there. It's very common. If you want to sell around 2,500 for any reason or around any kind of whole number, just drop it a couple of cents under that number and you will tend to get filled. Some people put a couple of cents over the 2,500. That would not be a good idea. I'm not suggesting that you should sell. I'm just saying when you look at the market and you want to sell at a whole round number, don't do it. Just go a little bit under, fractionally under. Okay, another resistance level at 25.48 and structural resistance playing in here at 26.09. We have structural support underneath at 23.87 and lighter support underneath at 23.04. I'd like to put out a thank you to Austin Bauer and Dave for recommending that we put the August 4th London hard fork EIP 1559 upgrade in here. I really love that. We're a community driven channel. I exist basically to help you guys out, and girls of course. It's all about what you need. So if you need something, please reach out and let me know what it is. I'm always more than happy to help out and accommodate. We used to look at token terminal, but I don't like anything that doesn't have integrity. I need to make sure that the data is real. I'm talking about the data having integrity, not token terminal. Okay, let's have a look at the reward over the past 24 hours. 40.3 million, pretty cool. Active addresses, 787,000. Looking at the average values, $167.8 million sent with an average transaction value of about $3,300. It's pretty cool to look at this stuff. I would suggest get in there and look at BitInfo charts. If you have any other sites that track revenue or costs, please let me know. I always acknowledge anybody that shares. It's really important. And if you private message me, please make sure that you say, yeah, you can share this link, or else I won't. I keep everything private, unless you say otherwise. Let's have a look at the amount of leverage inside Ethereum. That's this blue line. You can see it ducking down, and there were quite a few reasons for that. Major sites were basically hammered into reducing their leverage percentages. That's a really good thing. That looks after people. Let's have a look at the Ethereum perpetual. We can see a predominantly long position, some short. Let's have a look at the futures. This is over time. They're experiencing a inclination towards shorting Ethereum at the moment. Like we always do, let's have a look at the options expiring at the end of the month. We see a max pain price of 2,200. Looking at the liquidation, and this is a real gem, a very, very important thing to understand. When you look at liquidations, what you're doing is basically assessing the strength of a move. If liquidations are low, and this is 291.54 million over the past 24 hours, only 48,086 traders were liquidated. That is very few traders. When you have massive liquidations, you're looking at 200,000 to 300,000 traders being liquidated and billions of dollars of liquidations. We're not seeing that at the moment. This is really important just for your education to know that the price, yes, it's going up, but I feel it's quite lightly supported. Okay, let's check out what is happening. Over the past 12 hours, about 59% of liquidations were long. You can see here that's really no real liquidations occurring here. These large liquidations are what we're looking for. They tend to hammer in a trend change. I know a lot of people just zoom into these and they look so big, but it's really important to zoom out. That's why we always start like this. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. Okay, we can see a lot of shorts got liquidated here, and there's fairly light trading volume at the moment. Rule 19, sharp angles reverse. This is a really powerful rule. If you look at a sharp angle, it typically tends to reverse. It has a high probability, probably 90% plus. So keep this one in mind. It's really, really valuable. It applies, these sharp angles apply when price comes down and also when price goes up. It's kind of reflective. If you're feeling the pull of the fear of missing out, if you're fearful, please don't act on fear. Fear creates exactly what you fear. Think about this. When price was going up here, people were afraid of missing out. And a lot of people bought at the top and they kept on holding and holding and holding. And then a lot of people came down here. It's really important to think about not FOMOing in. You really want to do everything to get a lower average buy price. That will make you extremely wealthy. And that's what it's all about. So you can be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's have a look at how the stable coins are being deployed into the market. We can see there is an uptake in, well, there's stable coins being distributed into Bitcoin currently. I always believe in bringing you the absolute best quality data and upgrading everything I do for you every time I do a video. I want you to have the best. We're looking at stable coins, USDT, which is Tether. That is potentially subject to a Department of Justice investigation. We would expect that volume, that circulating supply to come down. Now, I thought this was a fantastic thing to see how all the different stable coins are playing into each other. We can see that Tether has about $62 billion worth. We go down to USDC, there's about 27 billion. We go down to BUSD, 12.2 billion. And you can look at these other charts as well. We can look at those another time. I think it's just really cool for me to show you on a one view perspective. If we look at DAI, DAI is about nearly, well, 5.6 billion. It's coming up. I hope that helps. There's a lot of really cool stuff to look at here, but I think you get the basic idea, these relativities between the major stable coins. If Tether has a problem, this is the gem. If Tether has a problem, the other stable coins will start to exponentially rally because people will do a flight to safety, either across primarily to USDC and also BUSD because it's used on Binance to lower fees, but also into Bitcoin, which may be happening right now. To monitor if Tether becomes a problem, every day we will track the perpetuals and the futures. If things go short with Tether, that will signify, and there needs to be a lot of interest in this, but if it does, it can signify a depegging. That means Tether could go from $1 to say 50 cents. If there are a lot of shorts, that could be a very good sign. There's not at the moment. Things seem to be quite safe, and the longs for this perpetual for this future is going quite well. Nothing to be concerned about at present. Let's have a look at the top 7. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and USDC. The greatest gainers: NEO, QTUM, Rune, Sia Coin, ZRX, Link, and Sol. You gotta have Sol. 24-hour% losers: Flow, XDC, and stable coins. Let's have a look at the greatest gainers over the past 7 days. Okay, Rune, Quant, Neo, AMP, Luna, Sia Coin, and OKB. Let's have a look at the greatest losses over the past 7 days. Axie Infinity, MDX, Mana, SHIB, Compound, Elron, and a stable coin. I just want to go back here to the greatest losses over the past 24 hours. This is a real gem and something that will help you tremendously when central governments create their stable coins. Look at them. They're useless. They're not tradable. They're just literally something that you put your cash into on its way to another coin, another alt primarily. So when people talk about central bank digital currencies destroying crypto, they really don't know what they're talking about. These stable coins just act as an intermediary between Bitcoin and alts. That's it. That's all they do. Let's have a look at the Binance derivatives. $57.2 billion, 24-hour trading volume, 24-hour open interest, 7.5 billion. We're looking at this percentage to give us an idea of how the market could be changing. Bitcoin around 7%, Ethereum 4%. Bitcoin is improving against Ethereum. That's what it's telling us. Now, as we look down, we see DOT at 12.5%, Link at 13.8%, Sol at 11.8%, NEO rocketing at 34.6%, 1 inch 8.5%, Rune 20.9%. Yeah, there's a couple that are not doing too badly. SRM 19.6%, RLC 27.5%, QTUM 15.5%, Sia Coin 13.5%, Ren 14%. Some days when the markets really rally, you'll see every single one of these double digit. That means the end of the rally is very close. That's what it generally means. The futures, having a look, pretty cool. Rule 33, never buy at market. Now, you say, Ken, what does never buy at market mean? If you don't know what that means, you're doing it. Buying at market is just like saying, I don't care, whatever it costs, I'm in. You'll pay literally any price to enter. That's not a good idea. You're going under fear. Fear of missing out or fear uncertainty and doubt. Both fears are not the best thing for your pocket. It's hard to be a financial blessing to yourself and others when you lose a lot of money in that margin. You really want to let price come to you. You need that system, that systematic way of doing things. Just have a look into this. If you're buying at market, just look up what is market price. Let's check out BNB, Binance Coin. Binance Coin is currently trading at 329.46. Look at this, that sharp angle. It went all the way up to 339 and said, yeah, I'm getting out of here, I'm going down. What you find out as you trade a lot, you find out that these sharp spikes upwards need a degree of consolidation. It's very important. Even sharp spikes down tend to come back and retest support. These are real gems for you to understand. They'll help you so much. When you look at this blue line is structural resistance. When BNB starts to come up to the blue line, it will naturally get rejected because there's a lot of selling there. That's what the blue lines are for. They show a lot of strength. If we're looking a little bit further, the resistance is 339, and by the time it gets to that structural resistance, it's probably around 349.42. Support, it's just at support at the moment. A lower level of support is 318.46 and 309 even. Now, what do you see in ADA? When you look at this chart, what is brought to your attention? Do you see that this support is being held? Do you see that this resistance is getting stronger? It's pushing price down away from it. These are really good gems. Just keep your eyes on these things. ADA is currently trading at 130.30. Support below at 128.48, 126.28. Resistance above at 133.43 and 137.43. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP is currently trading at 74.30. Resistance above at 77.37. Support below 73.85 and 71.49. I'd just like to point something out to you here. What do you notice with XRP's price action? Do you notice that it looks really like Bitcoin's price action? It's quite interesting, isn't it? When we look at Bitcoin's fingerprint across any specific alt, directionally the alt follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps up, the alt pumps up. Bitcoin drops down, the alt drops down. This is really interesting. You see that gradual slope? XRP pumped. Of course there was some news behind that, but you can see this directional bias is still playing inside XRP. If you're in XRP, please keep an eye on Bitcoin to understand where XRP could be going. That's a real important gem for you. Let's have a look at DOGE. DOGE is currently trading at 26.35. Support below at 19.990 and 18.753. Resistance above at 21.095 and 22.200. Polkadot is currently trading at 16.224. Look at this chart. Isn't it fascinating? You notice some weakness in other particular alts. What do you see here? Do you see weakness or do you see strength? It's fascinating, isn't it? A very important gem for you is to always compare as many possible alts as you can to Bitcoin especially. I'd like to also give you another gem here. You see this percentage decrease from this peak down to this line? It's about 41%. Going from the same line back up to the same peak is nearly 72%. Let's just call it 71.5. Down 41, up 71. Down 40, up 80. Wow, think about that. This is why you always try to lower your average buy price. It will exponentially increase your returns. So what are we noticing in Polkadot at the moment? It's coming up to structural resistance. That's heavy resistance. Heavy resistance, what happens when we get heavy resistance? A lot of selling. People sell, becomes a sell wall and pushes price down. Generally, that's the probability. And we always have to go with the probabilities. We go with the main probabilities, understanding that we just keep our eye on what price is actually doing. But we start with a specific expectation. Okay, let's look at DOT. Support under at 16,085 and 15,661. Resistance above at 16,441, and that structural resistance is coming into play at 16,866. Link is currently trading at 21,657. It has a couple of levels of structural resistance above 21,807, 22,031. It also has resistance at 22,348. Support below 21,280 and 20,699. Now, when you look at Link, what do you see here? Do you see strength? Remember in the past videos on trend, I was saying, please pick strength. This is why. Now, do you see anything else there? I do. There's something quite interesting about this. Do you know what it is? Correct. Bitcoin's fingerprint is playing out on this quite severely. Look at that. It's very, very interesting. Some of the alts are quite suppressed in terms of Bitcoin's fingerprint, but Link is just stepped up. Look at this. Bitcoin selling down, Link selling down. Bitcoin pushing up Link. Fascinating. THETA is currently trading at 6,064. It has structural resistance above at 6,490, normal resistance at 6,779. It has structural support below at 5,816 and 5,374. If you're new, I want to send you a very warm welcome. It's lovely to have you here. And I'd also like to thank our moderators for keeping the community safe from scammers. You're the best. Thanks so much. I hope you found the content useful. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from. And of course, if you have any questions, if you would like updates 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and join us on Facebook and Discord. They're free groups, 100% free. You can also follow me on Twitter. Crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.